So hi, welcome to the video. I'm Ben, I'm the Managing Director here at Matter Solutions, and so I want to take you through some keyword research. And this is the kind of keyword research that I teach to people during my SEO training, and I'm going to go through it in sort of fairly basic steps. And really what I want to do is give you a resource that helps you get to grips with your website. The things I want to cover here today, so what keywords are good and why. And so choosing those right keywords for your business is an essential part of getting off in the right step. So we're going to talk about the theory, and then we're going to jump straight into some practical. So yeah, we're not going to hang about. Then we're going to talk about some more theory about, how do we use these keywords and what's the point? And the idea of having the right keyword is one thing, but what do you do with it? Well, you need to put it in your website, but I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you which part of the website and how to do that. So then the final bit is we're going to look at getting the keywords organized to go into your website, and then I'm going to discuss some things about what you do at that point. I'll kind of hint at that throughout as we go along, but yeah, let's get into it, as they say. Yeah, let's do it. So the introduction, asterisk, is the thing I put there to remind myself. There's no such thing as a stupid question. So please ask your questions. No such thing as a stupid question. Well, there is. It's the one you leave in your head. So let's get into it. The theory, what are the good keywords and why? Well, so let's talk about some curves, some things that actually, from a theoretical point of view, determine whether a keyword is actually any good or not, right? So I'm going to talk to you about these three curves: the blue one, the red one, and the green one. Okay, what on earth are these, Ben? Yep, good question. You've probably seen this before. You may have heard of the term Longtail. This is basically a visual representation of the Longtail, this blue line here. So you have a few keywords up at the head, a few keywords that have a lot of traffic. Then you have a lot of keywords, loads and loads and loads of them that have very little traffic. Some of them next to none at all. Maybe a couple of searches a month or a handful of searches a week. It's, we're talking kind of this keyword thing would go on for miles and miles off to the right hand side, this blue line, because the amount of traffic on some of the searches is tiny. But the red line, which is where I want to go next, is to do with the idea of the keyword as something valuable for your business. Now, a really simple way to look at this is like plumbers. I mean, we're in Brisbane in Australia, right? Plumber Brisbane is what people search for. Brisbane plumber, not so much. They put the service first, then the place. So Plumber Brisbane gets the majority of the search. But the thing is, if somebody's searching for Plumber Brisbane, what are they looking for? It could be anything. It could be a blocked drain, it could be a leaking tap, it could be a drainage issue, it could be hot water systems, it could be all sorts of different keywords. So the thing is, commercial value for you, being a plumber maybe just in one part of Brisbane, might not be that relevant, because it might be on the wrong side of town. It might be they've got to battle through 2 hours of traffic to get there on a bad day. So what you really want to do is think about the more specific keywords first. And what I mean by specific stuff is when people really type in blocked drain Ashgrove, which is a suburb here in Brisbane. So these particular detailed queries, they signify something that we can tap into and say that there's a lot of commercial value. And that's for two reasons. Firstly, we can rank quite easily, which we'll get to in a moment. But the two reasons are that you can get the page ranking and be very clear about the page that they're landing on being about blocked drains. And the coverage, you're looking after Ashgrove and different, suburbs around the area. And you can be really clear about what it is that you can satisfy. So the thing is, when they get on the page, they get a confirmation that they found what they're looking for, because you are delivering what they're looking for. Now, if I'm sitting face to face with a client, I'm explaining this by putting my hands together. you know, almost like locking my fingers together in front of them and saying, you know, on the one hand, my left hand, you've got the demand from them searching for blocked drain in Ashgrove, and in my right hand, I've got you as a plumber trying to fix people's drains in Ashgrove. And if we lock those things together, the commercial value is enormous, because first of all, they get confirmation, and secondly, they realise that you're the one who can solve it, and then they get in touch with you. So it's very likely that they're going to get in touch with you, and it's likely that they're going to give you the job, because your website has made it clear that you can help them. Now, a lot of SEO companies just ignore this long tail end, and they go for the big keywords, and you know, and I understand why. The competition's higher, and they make a bit more money. But ultimately, I'll show you in a moment why missing out on the smaller keywords is not a wise strategy, really, especially for small businesses. So commercial value, that's the red curve. Over here on the left hand side, the commercial value curve drops massively, like it really, you know, it falls off. And that's because if somebody searches for a bigger keyword, something with a lot more traffic, like plumber, Brisbane, here, the thing is, what are they looking for? Maybe they get on your website and you're talking about blocked drains, and what they've got is a hot water system replacement, and they need it done right now, and they're not interested in your, you know, pitch about blocked drains. So really, it doesn't strike a chord, and it doesn't win the customer over, and it doesn't get you the call. So it wouldn't be commercially valuable for you. And there could be a specialization. I mean, people are specialists in certain things. I know, you know, we have plumbers as clients, and we know that, you know, there are particular plumbers who work as hot water systems, and other ones who work in specialising in gas fitting for, you know, cookers and appliances and things like that. So there are, you know, different keywords, but the bigger keywords, they often have little sort of commercial value because of the lack of intent. And that's a real key takeaway that I want you to think about, is the intent behind the keyword is the thing we really want to think about, because that, as long as it aligns up with what you're doing for people, that can be communicated across the page in good copywriting, and then you can persuade people to actually get in touch with you. Now, the last factor is competition, so the green line there. And what I'm doing there is just explaining that often people chase traffic, you know, so the amount of search for like plumber in Brisbane means that SEO companies have been chasing it for quite a while, and it means it's artificially more competitive. So the competition for a particular term like plumber in Brisbane or plumber Brisbane is pretty fierce, right? So, you know, not only is the intent not that fantastic, but it's also very competitive, because SEO companies have chased after that, and the competitors, the plumbing companies, are paying SEO companies to make it more and more competitive. Do you want to rank for that? Well, it's hard. There's not much intent, so therefore not much commercial value. And if you're a small plumber, maybe it's just not right for you anyway, because half the inquiries would be about something you don't want to do, or maybe 3/4 of the inquiries would be from the wrong side of town. You know, you want to stay in your, you know, your localized suburbs. Anyway, so that's the kind of thinking that needs to go into which keywords are right for you. Now, we talk to clients about what we call the sweet spot. So that's kind of like, you know, a mid-range where the keyword has a decent amount of search, stuff like hot water systems, and there is a decent amount of search traffic. That's what I mean by that, and a good amount of intent. So what they mean by the keyword is something that we can get hold of and say, well, as a service, we can provide this, and we can deliver something of value, and we can communicate that on a page. I mean, really, that's essential as well, is that we can write a page that says, okay, you're looking for a hot water system, yeah, we can do a hot water system, read the testimonial, read the proof that we can do the thing, look at the photos of the cool, you know, hot water systems that we can do, and on demand, and, you know, all the beautiful things about, you know, hot water systems. And some of the keyword research we can do can inform us about what it is people are really looking for, and we use those words back to confirm, you know, what people are actually looking for, and confirm for them that they're on the right page, and encourage inquiries. So it's worth thinking about, just as a sideline, that if you're running adverts, so say Google Ads, you can actually run ads in that sweet spot. Just get your credit card out and start running campaigns. I mean, obviously it's a bit harder than that, and you need to listen to Sam and his videos about Google Ads management. But the thing about it is that when you've come up with ideas for your keywords, the competition, and there is some competition in these kind of terms, you're not necessarily going to rank at the top of Google straight away. I mean, well, necessarily, you're not going to. You're going to have to put some effort into link building and other things, which we talk about in other videos. But the thing is, you with a new website or with little strength, you can actually rank for stuff over here on the right hand side. And SEO can basically start from right over here on the right hand side, and you can travel to the left as you improve the strength of your website, as you improve the text, you improve the build out of the content, and as you actually build out and build links, and people recognize that your website's a good place to send traffic, you get links, and so you travel from right to left. The thing is, before your SEO strength, as it were, kind of travels from right to left and gets to the sweet spot, you can pay for advertising in the sweet spot, and you can run ads on keywords that you think are going to make you money. And what I mean by that is you're making assumptions. You know, me waving my hands around, with my left hand out saying, yeah, this is the demand of the searchers, and my right hand saying, yeah, this is what you're supplying, and the supply and demand can kind of come together and make you money. Well, those are assumptions. So we're saying people who are searching for block drain in Ashgrove or hot water system in Ashgrove, that they're going to deal with you because you're saying that that's what you can do. Well, it could well be that, you know, there's a big discount plumbing store around the corner and that's what they're looking for. In which case, running some ads and working out that that's not going to work for you, that's a better idea than putting lots and lots of time and effort into SEO and getting there and finding out it doesn't work. I mean, of course, you should have some commercial kind of mind about what's going on in your location, but that's just an example about thinking and testing using ads to work out whether your SEO is going to be good. But as this is all about keywords, I hope you see the idea that you can then use advertising to test whether your keyword assumptions about intent and what people really want is a good thing. Okay, so now we're going to jump into some practical, and we're going to look at choosing some of the right keywords. Now I'm hoping that's going to keep my spot. But, right, now what you're going to need is this browser add-on. Go to Keywords Everywhere. Go to Keywords Everywhere browser add-on and just click install for Chrome or install for Firefox. Obviously I'm using Google Chrome here and I've got it installed already. So I can then go to Google and I can search. Okay, I'm not going to do the plumbing one. I'm going to do another trade thing. So in Australia, yep, roofing. There are different kinds of roofing. Obviously different countries, you'd have different issues about roofing. Of course, I've searched for roofing in Brisbane. I know this is, you know, moderately popular term as far as this niche is concerned. So I'm starting with just, yep, roofing. And we can see who ranks, but this tool, this Keywords Everywhere tool, is straight away is giving me selections. It's giving me a whole load of different ideas in terms of keywords, and it's telling me, yep, metal roofing. That's good. Lots of people searching for metal roofing, roof tiling, roofing Brisbane north side. I know from working in Brisbane that north side is a thing. South side, not so much. Home roofing, yep, that's a brand, but it's also so one of the websites down here, Home Roofing Brisbane, but that's also actually a term. So that's you know, people looking for roofing, you know, a roofing supplier to come and fix their home, and then you've got commercial, roof restoration, and so on. So if you're a roofing contractor and you're trying to use Google to build out, you know, to look at that left hand of what that demand is for particular keywords, well, what you're going to do is you can start off, got a Google spreadsheet, you can download a copy of this. I've got a few tabs here. There's a summary with some instructions, and you've got a list of web addresses. At the moment, this is a brand new site, so I haven't built any pages, but the pages we're going to build and we're going to think about, they're actually informed by the keywords they're going to pick, because the keywords are what people are looking for, and like I said, you know, the right hand of what you're going to supply, it should actually marry up with what people are actually after. So we've got a keywords tab, and then the mapping, which is a bit of a secret sauce, which I'm going to show you later on. So let's have a look at keywords. So I've just put in roofing Brisbane. Yeah, that's not the search volume, but we've got metal roofing, Brisbane, and we're going to build out this whole list. Metal roofing Brisbane, and I can download that to a CSV. And there's also people also searching for other stuff. So this is a really cool tool, because when you're looking at, okay, here's some terms here. In Google, they will say searches related to roofing Brisbane, and they'll come up with all these related searches. And if you click on one, all it does is just do the search, right? That's easy, no problem. Well, yeah, but then there's more related searches, and you click on those. And there's more related searches, and so on and so on and so on. So eventually you can build out, and you can sort of broadly, it becomes kind of divergent. You end up sort of covering emergency roof repairs, and then you find roof repairs north, leaking, roof plumber. Okay, as soon as you click on plumber, I bet it's going to start suggesting plumbers, right, as a thing, or roof and gutters. So, you know, and maybe this is gutter vacs, things like that. So there's a whole load, yeah, look, cleaning gutters and things like that. So it starts to get really broad, like maybe so broad that there are services you're not even going to provide. But the idea is really that what I'm doing is I'm grabbing content, these related keywords, and I'm going to go back to my Google Sheet, because I prefer the Google Sheet. I'm going to put in my keywords here, and then I go back, and I'm going to find some more keywords here, roofing Brisbane, and there are all those related words here. So I export those to CSV. Loads of those. And there's volume. I'm going to take the volume data as well. The question that I often get asked when we're looking at this data is, these are 0. Why on earth are we including them? What's the point of this? Yeah, well, remember the curves. There's a whole load of data all down here off to the right hand side, and they're very specific keywords, but because the intent is quite high, and if we have a look at those keywords, you'll see the intent is quite high, they still have a lot of commercial value, and 0 isn't really the number. Google doesn't necessarily want to report that it's like 5 or 6 every few months, you know, or 1 a month or 2 a month or whatever. But the thing is, it's not necessarily 0. It wouldn't even show up on the register. It wouldn't even appear in the data set if it was really 0. And one of the things we see is that when you connect up with Google Webmaster Tools, which is now called Search Console, that these keywords actually generate impressions and they generate clicks. And the neat thing about that is that those clicks often turn into conversions, which for me is the purpose of the damn website. So I'm pretty okay with seeing zeros here. You know, too long didn't read. Maybe the short story is just don't worry about it, just include the zeros. So yeah, we don't have the actual search volume for roofing Brisbane. Yeah, we do. It's $590 a month. There you go. Metal roofing Brisbane. Yeah, I've already got that doubled up there. Okay, so this is sort of a bit quick and dirty, but we can go through and have a look at this. We're going to do a quick scoring. So what we do is have a look at, well, what do we think of this? Is this commercially, is this what we want? Well, roofing Brisbane, yeah, that's what we want, but we're scoring out of 5. 5 is absolutely, this is a total kind of expression of they want what we've got. and 3 is like, yeah, that's pretty good, I like that, and 2 and 1 is, nah, don't worry about that, and 0 is, what on earth did the system pull this up for? This is crazy. So I'm going to work on the assumption, and you've got to know who the website is and what they're targeting. I'm going to talk about this in terms of a residential roofing contractor. I'll write that down for you. Because I'm really going to say that they don't do commercial stuff. And I'm going to show you how that looks, right? Because when you get to commercial roofing Brisbane, I'm just going to put 0 because it doesn't make any sense for them. But home roofing, oh yeah, that's good. That's like a 5 because it's really what we want. Roofing Brisbane north side, well, that's not as good as home roofing, so probably like a 4. And some of those north side, well, it could be commercial, so it's not really a 5 out of 5. Roof tiling Brisbane, well, there's plus and minuses on that. It's very unlikely to be a commercial building if it's got tiling, so it's probably residential. But yeah, is it that good? Yeah, it's like a 4 or a 5 for me. So I'd just say, yeah, all right, 4. Metal roofing Brisbane, yeah, that could be commercial, it could be residential. Again, 4. A lot of people have the Colour Bond roofing, which is the specific brand. Roofing Brisbane, yeah, that's sort of general. That's like a 3 or a 4. Err on the side of caution and put a 3. Roof restoration reviews. See, yeah, the intent there is very specific, right? They want reviews, but is it that they want a service? And if they get on the website because we've said that keyword for reviews, is that intent aligned with what we're trying to offer? Not really, right? You could put a testimonial, like a review of sorts about what you've done, but in order to rank for reviews legitimately, you would have to have reviews about multiple providers, and that's not really what we're going to have. So I'd say that's probably a real low. Put that as a 1. If it was roof restoration Brisbane, yeah, and let's see if we're going to find that in here. Roof restoration Brisbane, I'd be interested in that. Roof restoration, and that's interesting. So we might have to go back and have a look. So we'll just bear that in mind. Yeah, I'll just use the search function, which helps if you spell it right. Roof restoration Brisbane. Yeah, so it's cost and Brisbane North and so on. So maybe there's a keyword that we should dig into to see if we can find some more keywords, because yeah, roof restoration cost. It's also said, so let's just take this one, open that file. Yep. And what we need to do is just look out for getting this deduplicated, because sometimes you can end up with exactly the same keyword a few times. Yet North reviews, that's all in there already. Colour Bond roof restoration. Yep, 1 of 1, it's only there once, that's good. Modern roof, yep, okay. Roof restoration Logan, which is a city outside of Brisbane, yep, okay. Roof restoration Ipswich. Alright, so that's not on the list, but we've just picked that up as well. That is a new keyword by just spotting that there was a hole. So we've then gone back and we found something. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Don't worry that it's not in the right order. We can easily just sort that stuff in a minute. Oh, my data, turn off filter, turn on filter again. Yeah, there we go. Yep, so emergency roof repairs. Well, yeah, okay, these ones turn into long-term gigs, you know, according to roofing people I know. So yeah, all right, we'll try and get that. 0 search, but you know, if we can jump on a ladder and put a tarpaulin on somebody's roof because it got a leak, then you know, it could be that we could win some stuff. And that's one of the things about SEO is you need to think about the intent and the circumstance that that customer finds himself in, because if they're freaking out because they've got a leak in their roof, it could be that you have a great opportunity to get in there and make that customer happy, and you get in front of them and their insurance company kind of, you know, fixing the problem. So yeah, so we now have a whole ton of keywords, and we can sort by search volume, and we can also filter and say, yeah, we're only interested in ones that are 3s to 5, okay, and exclude the B's. These are like zeros. So there we go. So we've now got, these are our keywords. These are the ones we're really interested in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these ones. I'm going to go to the mapping. Ooh, ready for this? So I'm going to paste just the values. Okay, very simple kind of stuff. And now we have a whole ton of keywords. How do we use these chosen keywords? Well, I'm going to talk to you about how we put them in to the website. So here we go. Right, I want to step back from the keywords a second. Right, we've thought about keywords, we've thought about intent. You've now got this concept of like some keywords have a lot of traffic and so on. Just to recap, some keywords have a lot of traffic and some keywords have very little traffic. Some of the keywords who have very little traffic have really good intent, like can be really, really commercially valuable. And you know, my left hand, right hand go together and show that, you know, the demand and the supply fit together really nicely. But I want to think about the website a little bit, just quickly. I want to talk to you about visitors and the different ways they come into the website. We're talking about mostly for SEO, but as I've shown you, thinking about keywords with respect to your advertising, that's pretty good as well. So don't worry about social media, but you know, tracking this stuff is a good idea, and then that way you can think about the, you know, which effort, you know, is it the SEO effort that you're putting into mapping out the website? Is it that's making you returns, or is it the advertising? So tracking it with Google Analytics is really important. There's really only two things we can change when we think about our website this way. Number one, we can change the website itself, so the throughput through the website is improved, and you can track this stuff with Google Analytics, but you have to install goal tracking. And goal tracking is like a special thing. It basically says that when they get to the thank you page after the inquiry form, you know that was a goal that was satisfied, and that special page, or that person that got to that page, Google Analytics will tell you how they got to the website in the first place. Was it through SEO, was it AdWords, or what was it? The second thing you can do is just get more visitors. Well, okay, you can do that through advertising, or you can do it through, you know, big time SEO, or anyway, you know, like long-term SEO, like I'm proposing here. So as a, you know, how do we use them? We're going to put them in the website. So we're going to get these keywords organized and put them in the website. Now, there's two steps to this, right? So I'm going to jump across and have a look at the mapping that I kind of alluded to earlier. So this is the mapping tab. I've put all my keywords in here, but these are the pages, right? But we don't have a website because it's a fiction, right? So I've said that it's going to be mattaroofing.com.au. Well, there's no such thing. So what I've done, there's a tool called Screaming Frog SEO. Now, you should buy the license. It's very, very good, and you can scan whatever you like. But if you're only scanning a small website, you can download the free, you can download like the demo, download it here. Where is it? Spider tool, free versus paid. So you can download, and you can download and crawl up to 500 URLs. So it's good. Like for the small businesses we're looking at, you could just download it and just use it for free. Now, how does it look? Well, it looks like this. So what I've done, I've actually scanned one of these websites that ranks already. And what I've done, I've just put the web address in, I've hit start, and then it just starts crawling all the pages and starts generating all this stuff. I might show you how that works in a minute, but really it's pretty straightforward. You just let it run while you're doing the other things. Now, I've filtered this data. Instead of letting it show me all of the stuff, all the images and all the bits and bobs that make up the website, I only want it to show me the pages. So now I've got a list of pages. Yep, look at that, loads of pages. And there's 24 pages in that website. So what I can do now is I can go back to my spreadsheet, look at the URLs, and I can paste that in there. right? And I've got a little equation there in the spreadsheet that you can download. And what it'll do is it'll just trim off the web address. And then what we do, rather like we did for the keyword, so this is if you have an existing website, right? So not everybody has an existing website, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to sort of ditch this and say, well, I'm going to pretend like I'm planning the website from scratch, because this is how we build websites for clients. We actually go and do the keyword research and build the websites around what people want. So that left-hand demand, right-hand supply, we actually build the supply to meet what the demand is. But that's not the normal way that web designers do it, but it's really good, and I highly recommend it. So we can score this, some old data in there. We can score this, and we can basically say, all right, well, this page is really important, the home page, of course, 5. Re-roofing, well, yeah, hang on a minute. Re-roofing, that sounds like restoration. Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty important, because restoration was the thing that we saw in the keyword research. But they're not calling it restoration. You know, I'd be questioning that, and I'd be saying, well, maybe that should actually say restoration. You know, there's a, well, actually change the color. There's a question there about, shouldn't it say restoration? Or maybe if I could spell. And then we go metal roofing. Well, that one showed up, I remember that one. And then you've got color bond. Yep, that was pretty good as well. Roofing Brisbane South Side. Well, these guys are based on the south side, so that's pretty good for them. I'd say that would be a 5 as well. Commercial Roofing Brisbane, well, they're doing commercial, that's great. I said we weren't, so let's get rid of that page. Contact us. Yeah, not too worried about getting that ranking, so let's just go 2. And then it looks like these are blog posts, right? Privacy policy, yeah, that's 2. We'll come back to this. Locations, yeah, let's think about that. Commercial roofing, well, for them it'd be a 5, but for us, 0. And hang on a minute, we've already got a page. Look, there's a page there, there's a page there about commercial roofing. This one's about restoration, and surely this one's about restoration too. So there's some problems, really. I mean, you know, poor old Pro Roofing Brisbane. I've just scanned their website for this video, and I'm finding, and I'm seeing, well, actually there's a few different pages here. You've got these category pages. Yep, and then you've got some other stuff going on. And if we actually have a look at their website, you've got this re-roofing experts. Well, this should probably be restoration. But then they've got some other page somewhere else about restoration, and it's not even obvious where it is actually. Oh, they got a north side and a south side. Yeah, so their restoration page, where is it? Well, that's not good. The search doesn't even work. Oh dear. Well, that's a shame. Well, it looks like a WordPress website, so let's just cheat. Restoration. Did I spell it right? Yeah, it did. Anyway, so that page, how much does a roof restoration cost? That was it. How much does a roof? So this, yeah, but this article that they wrote, oh, years and years ago, it doesn't link anywhere. Like, it's just a page about roof restoration, but like, that's a shame. It sort of covers the ground. Look, it covers different types of roofing, but it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't talk. Yeah, so in here, when you're talking about restoration, if this is the page you want to rank, well, great, let's get this one ranking for roof restoration cost. But it needs some links into it, and if you go to the re-roofing page, hopefully this one will talk about restoration cost, and then that clickable link should go through to that page. Yeah, but it doesn't. So internal linking is pretty important as well, and that's something I'm going to cover. So let's just push that all out of the way. Yep. Bye-bye Pro Roofing Brisbane. So let's pretend this is for us. We're just going to start from scratch, and we're actually just going to say, well, let's have a look at these keywords that we like the look of, I realise now I've lost the scoring, but remember we filtered this and we went to the scoring of 3s, 4s and 5s anyway, so that's okay. Well, Roofing Brisbane, I think probably we're going to have to chase that on the homepage. If you do a search for Roofing Brisbane, you can see that they're all homepages. Well, at least the top few. So in order to rank for that one, yeah, if I'm a small business like them, I think I'm going to follow the pattern, and I'm going to say, yeah, that's my primary keyword for that homepage. Yeah, that slash there, that means homepage. Yep, because if you go to the homepage, that's it. It's blah 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 /. So .com.au/. So here you've got roof restoration cost. Well, that's pretty good. We want to have a page about that, don't we? Is it going to go on the homepage? No. If I just want to talk about Roofing Brisbane, and that page is going to meet the demand of people who are searching for roofing in Brisbane, well, that's not the same as roof restoration cost. That's a different page. So maybe that's our second page. Roof restoration cost. That's the primary keyword for that page. Roof painting Brisbane. Well, is Roofing Brisbane about painting? Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. We're just going to cross-link that to another page. And it's a secondary keyword. But this is the primary keyword for another page. So if I go like, we've got roof painting. Now, if you're always going to stick in Brisbane, you might want to put roof painting Brisbane. But if you're going to expand over time, and one day you might want to be in other places, you might want to put roof painting and have multiple pages. So I'm just going to do roof painting. As long as you get the address and the markup sorted out, the Brisbane as a location centric kind of keyword, you don't necessarily have to get it in the URL. So primary metal roofing. Well, is that going to fit on the roof painting? No. Is it going to go on the restaurant? No. Homepage? Yeah, maybe. We're going to cross-link it, and we're going to cross-link it to the, you guessed it, metal roofing page. Okay, cool. Roof tiling. Roof tiling. You've got it already, right? You understand what I'm doing here. So basically what we're doing is, that's not right. We're working out which keywords then need their own pages. Gutter repair. Well, that's a whole new page in its own right. And maybe that's a page you do later. Maybe you don't need to build that when you first build the website. Guttering repairs. Gutter repair, guttering repairs. Well, okay, so that one's primary. And that one, yeah, it's basically a synonym. All right. What happened with this one? Roof tiles Brisbane. Well, roof tiling goes on there, right? That's the secondary keyword on that page. Yep. So you're not going to add a new page that's about roof tiles Brisbane. You're going to include anything about roof tiles on the roof tiling page. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build this out bit by bit, and you're going to end up with, and we're going to go back and do this, you're going to end up with, say, the restoration. And this is awesome the way you can do this. So you can go restoration. You can say, yep, just filter, give me only the ones that say restoration. The primary, restoration, secondary. How much does roof restoration cost? Yeah, that one. That one's basically a synonym. Roof restoration Brisbane cost. Yep, that's secondary. That's a primary synonym. And then you've got colour bond roof cost. Color bond roof restoration. Yeah, well, actually, this might just cross-link. Or maybe it's a subpage. And that's a bit of a question for what makes sense for the brand, for the business. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're building out this stuff, and this cross-link here from color bond. Well, maybe we need a page about color bond. So you just go, well, all right, I'm gonna insert a thing, go like color bond roofing. Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see, hang on, there's not any other keywords. It's only really this restoration one. Yeah, so maybe that's secondary because it's about restoration. But this is really highlighted one of the key things that we have to address here is, you know, color bond is like a major product. It's something we're doing all the time, but it's not come up. Yep, so in the actions log, I'd write, well, color bond, need more keyword research. All right, go back to here, color bond roofing, Brisbane. Color bond fencing, color bond roofing, color bond profiles. There's all this data here. So there's loads more data. We're not going to do it, but the process is the same. So you'd go back and you'd then start incorporating those keywords into your keyword scoring, and then you'd bring that across. Once you've filtered out the junk keywords, you then bring that across into the mapping, and then start mapping it out into this matrix, right? So here we are. We've worked out that we've got, so let's look at the roof restoration cost page. So we can then use this filter tool, just clear all those, filter, so text contains restoration. Yep, so we've captured all of the roof restoration ones. So what we need to do is then have a look at this and say, well, all right, well, what other pages should link to this? Roof restoration cost, well, if there's actually another page about roof restoration or gutter repair, maybe that should talk about, hey, well, you should get your roof restored. Yep, or metal roofing, you should be thinking about color bond and cross-linking. Yep, to the color bond page. Yep, or the restoration page. Okay, so here we go. We've now got something that we could use as a brief. This is probably not all that fleshed out, but you could certainly generate more keywords around this, do some more keyword research. So we're getting the keywords organized for the website. So we've got now this idea of you've got the keywords, you've got the web addresses. We're now working through the web addresses and we're identifying which keywords need to go on which pages. And that allows us to do two things. Firstly, as we saw in the idea of the missing page there, that you can identify pages that have keywords. You know, you've got all these keywords about, say, color bond, but you don't have any page about color bond. So you can say, is that a new page, or does that get incorporated onto the metal roofing page? So, okay, that's a judgment call. That's also to do with the conversions and whether people are going to, read a whole page about metal roofing and color bond, or whether they should be reading separate pages. Like, what's the best thing for the humans, right? The people are actually going to part with their money. And then the other thing you've got to look for is, if you've already got pages in the website, you may well have pages or ideas about services that you're going to provide, and you don't have any keyword research that fulfills that. And that's what we saw in the case of the other, the color bond, where we did actually need more keyword research, because that is a thing that we really need. Yeah, color bond roofing, we don't really have any decent keyword data about that, and that's a huge shame. So definitely we should be getting out and doing some keyword research about color bond. So what next? All right, so now that you've broken everything out and you've gone through a matrix and you've actually got a breakout, you can say for each individual page, these are the primary, the secondary keywords, and these are the cross-linking keywords that link off to other pages. And effectively with this matrix, you can commission a writer to say, all right, this is my brand, this is what I want to say, this is how I want to say it, but these are the pages, this is how they interlink, and this is how the website needs to be structured. You can even give that to a designer and say, I need blocks that lead people from the roofing page to a roof painting, to a even like your homepage. You know, as we were going through and mapping out all these sub pages, the actual pages within the website, we're automatically finding, the primary website, the Roofing Brisbane, the homepage, it needs to cross-link and start talking to people about the other things that are available, which is like, okay, cross-linking to roofing and guttering in Brisbane. Well, that's the one, isn't it? It's roofing and guttering in Brisbane. You can link to the gutter repair website. So as you can see from the template, I use colors and things to make this, sort of easy and clear. And because it's Google Sheets, I use, right-click, comment, and I'll send information. Oh, no, not a note. Right-click, comment, and I might even make a comment here, and I'll say, hey, this is important, and have a look at their website, and I'll hyperlink to somebody else's website. This is, what I like the look of, and in terms of design, I like the way that they're linking from one place to another. So yeah, particularly useful. So there you go. I think that kind of wraps up what I wanted to share. And in terms of the what next, yeah, it really is just wrapping that all up into briefs for your writers. And even if you're writing the thing yourself, at least now you've got a real solid structure about which page links to which, and you can go from there. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please, by all means, send us a message, or ideally send us a comment on here. No such thing as a stupid question. So if there's something I've missed, something we can improve, absolutely we'll tweak the video and make some changes and get it just perfect. So yeah, just let us know. If you want some help with SEO coaching, drop us a line. But ultimately, we know that people all over the world are watching this. So and most of our coaching clients are here in Australia. So you're welcome to drop us a line, and we're happy to help. Cool. So that's me, and I hope it was useful. Thanks very much. Bye bye.